Ian,
Mm-hmm.
GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
They're hanging on.
Mm.
They got their initiatives going. Auto Plus guy is Auto Parts Plus guy is trying to keep it together. Their CEO, and so I was sent a link to the GameStop Prior Plaza on Facebook about, I guess, a store manager. They've reset one of their stores to the new look. I'm guessing this is like their retro style store because there's retro game console set up in the back here.
So,
but it's an interesting video. It's only like 90 seconds long, but he walks through the store before I guess it's open now.
Yes, and so I'm gonna pull up some pictures.
You have pictures? I don't have
Guy
pictures.
sent me some other pictures too. It looks like.
Okay.
I'll send you a link.
Please, so I can send it to Kieran.
So it's interesting how it looks inside. It looks a lot more comfortable.
It's very open.
It's open. I was thinking that maybe I would see more games, but you don't really. There's still lots of toys and stuff like that. But they seem to have taken the whole we're going to try to make this look like a place to hang out thing to heart, because they did. There's displays with all the retro games, but then there's actually retro games.
Well, you want to start from the front and go back?
Here, let me give you these pictures real quick.
In the front, there's a like a 65, 70-inch TV set up with a couch, I guess, to play modern stuff, so you can hang out.
Okay, I dropped some.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then as you walk in, there's little. It's cute. It's almost like a department store setup for the T-shirt. It's not on a rack anymore. It's actually a better display because you can pick them up. You can see the designs, and they're not just like having 100 shirts. They're specialized shirts. And then you have your PS4 display. As you go further on, you have drawers, which I think is interesting, and you have stuff on the shelves there. Then you have like displays of the merchandise you can buy, like the Thanos Infinity Glove in this glass case to show off the merchandise. So it's a classier setup for a store. It's more like you see like a traditional department store here. Then you go past the counter in the middle there. You go back, and then you have your little corporate board meeting setup. You want to say there's 3 tables. They have 4 big CRT TVs that they source from somewhere, like good CRT TVs, like 27-inch TVs, 27 to 32-inch TVs with comfy computer chairs. And then they have an Xbox set up, GameCube, N64. Am I missing one? They have a PS2 there? No, they have three retro consoles set up there. Interesting, they don't have a PS2 there. Just to play. I guess to sample whatever, even though I'm guessing a lot of stores don't have those, but I'm guessing these stores have to carry those games.
Well, this is new, so who knows if this is going to be what they try to do for all of them.
And even the checkout counter is like a department store. It's open. They're not behind like a big counter. It's like an open. You can walk into it. That's like going to like a JCPenney.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. It's very down to earth.
Yeah.
Very homesy.
So, and then if you look at these photos,
look at the photos
it'll show you other things. So they sell streaming equipment now. They've got a lot of streaming equipment like on display on these racks. It shows a nice display showing, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, an N64, and a GameCube. There's a Dreamcast. It's the only non-Nintendo retro system in there.
Oh, they have a Dreamcast?
Yeah, there's a Dreamcast in the one picture of the case. And then it shows the tube TVs a little bit closer.
There's a Zapper for some reason. Oh, there's an NES there too.
Yeah,
they're just basically showing them. I don't know if they're selling those. They're just showing them off.
And they have a snack counter now.
You're gonna have greasy GameCube controllers in the back. People playing Melee.
So, and the guy who sent it to me said that when he went and checked it out, he saw people playing. I think one of the trading card games, and he said he saw like...
Oh, that's with the table in the middle. You can do that, yeah.
And he said so let me read what he says here.
There's a Retron 5 setup to play retro games. That's interesting.
So this is from Billy J. Whiteside. He was the one who sent me this stuff, but...
Wii games.
So he said he went by the GameStop last night and took it all in. He can only speak for this store, but it seems the employees are able to chill out more and do more relationship building than selling. Employees were playing Switch and tabletop games with customers, nailing that hangout spot vibe. Got a better look at the game stations. All CRTs have Retron 5 with HDMI to AV adapters. Gross. N64, PS2, Xbox, and GameCube are also available to play. Any games in stock can be played on these, as well as a permanent stock of some of the more popular games for these systems not for sale. Store plans on doing video game and tabletop tournaments as well. Personally, I don't care for GameStop, but I do think this is a good direction for them.
Where else can they go?
My take on take on this is, I don't think it's going to save GameStop, but the employees and the people who are shopping there are probably going to enjoy their time there more until it's gone.
Well,
especially if what we'd have to see, but if what he says is true, they want, the customer, the employees to interact with the customers. The only way you're going to get this to work is to truly have these people coming back and partaking in things like these tournaments, buying the snacks, using the hangout space, I'm assuming you have to buy something. Like, it's going to be tough. They have to make customers feel welcome and hope that brings in more sales.
Well, the problem is that it's coming when they're losing so much money. So say in the best case scenario, this is a big success. Whatever model stores, maybe they do this like 5 or 10 stores. To transform their hundreds, thousands stores, you know how much money that's going to take to do that?
Yeah.
To transform all those stores, to get them all sourced with all these retro games, and to get the, you have to also retrain employees in a way to interact with people again in a natural way. This is a huge undertaking to totally rebrand and remodel all your stores. I think the more likely scenario is that they're going to see this probably maybe work here and there, and then whatever stores they decide to keep open, when they close, 89% of these GameStops will be closed eventually. This is probably going to go the Radio Shack, where they're going to have like some stores here and there that are still profitable, but like corporate's going to be downsized to such an extent. There'll be like one GameStop in every state potentially, or every major metropolitan location, that they're going to remodel maybe whatever one still exists because they see it's going to be a success maybe, but they can't do this for every store. It's too late.
Yeah,
you had to have done this like 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah, it's too little, too late. That's what I'm saying. It's nice, and I actually think
it's cute.
It is cute. It's a stop in the right. It would have been a step in the right direction if this was a few years ago.
Because when you look at a store, you're not just looking at a place to buy things. You need an experience, and GameStop was not providing any sort of experience to people.
Right.
They weren't. There was just like a Toys R Us, but just for video games. Like, come in, buy our games, and get the hell out.
Yeah,
like that's it, and that doesn't fly when you can not only buy digital games with more, but the fact that you can buy your Amazon games and get them sent to you the day they come out. You don't have to worry about sending online or dealing with a snooty employee potentially, or having them push you to buy their subscription or Game Pass bullshit. They age themselves out basically by not changing.
Yeah,
but you can buy Cheez-Its now and Sour Patch Kids, and my cousin Andy would have loved this because he was always eating Sour Patch Kids while gaming. The tournaments is a great idea. I mean, this is honestly like Digital Press New Jersey had a meetup once a month with all the NAVA meetings. They still have them, and they have tournaments. You can trade games. You can congregate, and that was a great model that other retro game stores should probably do, because that's a good idea to get people in the store at least once a month to hang out and buy stuff. But they got their nice Sony CRT TVs. Those are like the high quality, like last generation CRT TVs everyone wants. You got your snowboard, kids.
I saw
this. So I wonder, can you just buy those, or those are the only retro games they have, or are they just showing off like a display of retro? I guess it looks more like a display.
They're pictures. I don't know,
because there's not even controllers for every console there. There's like, we have a Dreamcast here. Remember retro games? That thing is what it's like. It's more like almost like a semi-museum experience at that point, right?
You're supposed to be able to buy them and play them. I mean, they could just be leaving the cords up because it makes everything look ugly.
Is there Super Nintendo games in a drawer there? Because they're not on display. You think you want to display the Super Nintendo games, or or GameCube games or Dreamcast games. I don't see this being like total Funko Land where you want to ask someone, can I play some NES games, and then you have an employee have to Q-tip clean. I don't think it's going to be that. Speaking of training, you got to train people on these particular systems then as well. It's that same sort of problem. Not to the same extent as having.
It's not going to be nearly as big of a deal.
Sure, but come on. The first time someone can't get an NES console going, they didn't grow up with it, they're going to be panicking. How do I get this NES console to work on this? All right, well, hopefully we see more stories of this coming out, and if it's a good idea, it's a good idea. I don't want it to totally fall on its face. Why not?